What's going on, everybody? Tom here with Black Sheep Keto, and welcome to another recipe video just for you subscribers out there. And today we are actually going to be making the icing for our gingerbread cookies that we made in this recipe right up here. So most of you guys are probably going to be coming to me from that gingerbread recipe anyway. So you guys know what you're looking forward to, and we're just going to go ahead and get right into the recipe. Alright everybody, welcome to the recipe. Now today we are going to be making our keto-friendly royal icing. Now I'm calling it keto-friendly as opposed to keto for the simple fact that it actually does not have any fat in it. We're just going to rely on the fat that's in our cookies. But this is basically an icing that you can put on your gingerbread cookies or whatever you're making that'll keep you in ketosis, and we're just going to rely on the fats in the cookies to balance out the macros. So let's go through and look at all the ingredients I have laid out right here. Now first of all, right here we have 3 ounces of pasteurized egg whites. Now, 3 ounces is just a little bit over a third cup if you guys don't have a scale to measure it. Reason we're doing pasteurized is this is actually not going to get cooked. So those egg whites are going to be raw, and according to the FDA, it is totally fine to eat pasteurized egg whites. In fact, if you look at the professionals, a lot of them do use a pasteurized egg white to make the royal icing. Nothing out of the ordinary there. If you are totally not okay with the idea of eating pasteurized egg whites that are uncooked, go ahead and use some powdered egg and mix it with a little water to achieve the same thing. Next up, we have half a teaspoon of vanilla extract and 1 cup of powdered Lakanto sweetener. You can totally use powdered erythritol as well, but I like the taste of powdered Lakanto better. So now that we've covered the ingredients, let's go through the steps here. Now, first thing we're going to do is we're going to put our pasteurized egg whites and our vanilla into this mixture here, run it on high until it starts to foam up just a little bit. So let's do that. We've got our pasteurized egg whites, our vanilla, and again, I'm just going to run this until it foams up just a little bit. Alright guys, if you look right in there, I know it can be a little bit hard to see. You'll notice that there's just a little bit layer of foam on top of our egg white and vanilla mixture. So now it is time to start adding our powdered Lakanto. So I would recommend adding this in 2 to 3 parts. So put a little bit on there, run it for a bit, stop it, scrape the edges, add a little more. You get the gist. So we're going to put a little bit of this in there. I'm going to go with about 3 parts. You'll notice it's actually starting to foam a little bit more, which is exactly what we want. And we're going to go ahead and add our second part now. Give it a quick little scrape on the edges so that it all gets well worked in there. And then get it mixing again. That's looking pretty well worked in, so we'll add our final third. Give it another scrape, and guys, make sure you get all those things that kind of get flung around the edges too. You don't want a clump of sugar in your icing. So now we're actually going to run this on high for between 5 and 10 minutes. You want it to basically mix until it forms stiff peaks, and that's when you know it'll be finished. So I'm going to turn this on and get it going. If you notice things starting to stick to the edge, go ahead and use your rubber scraper and just scrape them off. Alright guys, we went ahead and whipped this for about 10 minutes, and as you can see, we got real stiff peaks being formed in here, which is exactly what we're aiming for. Now we're going to add some color to it, so I'm just going to divvy it up between these 2 bowls here, and we're actually going to be adding a little bit of green and a little bit of red, since it is the holidays and those are pretty much the Christmas colors. So there's really no trick to this. We're just going to take our royal icing here and add a little bit of food coloring to it, but I do have to warn you guys about food coloring. We have this huge trend right now in America where we're using this gel food coloring. It's the new hot thing, and it's impossible to find stuff that is not gel. Well, when you look in the gel, it's like corn syrup, cornstarch, sugar, which baffles me. I actually have no idea why you need to add more sugar to the coloring that you're adding into a sugary item, but they do. So I will put a link in the written recipe to some liquid drops that do not contain sugar. What I'm using here is actually something called cake paint, which also does not contain sugar, but just be careful of that when you are adding food coloring to your items. So what I have here is I've got a little bit of the red and a little bit of the green, and I'm just going to use a toothpick to put some in there. And we're just going to keep adding a little bit and mixing it until we achieve a color that we like. So we have our red here, and I'm going to go ahead and call that red enough. And now we're going to work on the green just a bit. Alright guys, as you can see, we have finished up our icings. Now, we've got a nice green icing here and a nice red icing right here. You can definitely go a little bit darker with the food coloring if you want, but I tend to be a little bit conservative with it. So I think this is really going to get our point across that it's red and green without going overboard on the food coloring. But now that you guys see this, I'm going to go ahead and show you the finished product, and then we'll get right into the taste test. Well guys, now that you've seen the recipe and the finished product, it is time for the taste test. So I've got myself a nice big bag of blue royal icing here, and we're going to give it a taste. Quick question guys, is my tongue blue? Probably not. Anyway, I'm totally kidding guys, you really should not eat the icing this way. I just thought it'd be hilarious. So I actually do have the cookie that we use in the gingerbread cookie recipe, which we'll taste once again if you guys are interested. So here he is, my masterpiece. As you notice, he is still missing a limb. Yep, these were shot right after another. And I'm gonna eat another limb, but I haven't really decided which one yet. I've tried an arm. You know what, let's go for the head this time. That sounds delicious. Well guys, what can I really say about icing? It's sweet, it goes fantastic on these gingerbread cookies, and of course, I had a lot of fun making this video. If you're interested in the macros, recipe for this, or the recipe for the gingerbread cookies, I'm gonna put them down in the description box below. If you like this video, leave it a like. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comment section. And if you have not subscribed yet, do me a huge favor, guys. Hit that subscribe button, show some love. Happy holidays, and I will see you in the next one.